Oily haired queens. Have you ever thought about the benefits of having an oily scalp? Because being oily is not necessarily a bad thing. And I feel like once you kind of embrace and just accept that you have oily hair and work with it instead of trying to work against it, you're going to be so much better off. Now, don't get confused. I'm definitely here to give you tips and tricks to help balance out your oily scalp, help minimize how oily you get. But at the same time, like, we're probably never gonna change your scalp from being super, super oily to being like completely balanced. You never get oily again. That's not good either. And nobody wants a dry scalp. Nobody wants dry hair. So let's just talk about a little bit like how to kind of embrace your oil. I'm actually going to put an oil treatment in my hair while I talk because I'm going to let it sit for an hour before I have to shower my hair or wash my hair. First thing to realize is your scalp producing oil is not like a bad thing. It doesn't mean your hair is unhealthy, your scalp is unhealthy. Everyone's scalp produces oil because we need it. We need our scalp to be nourished and moisturized, and the oil your scalp produces actually helps add shine, and it's not a bad thing. The oil your scalp produces also helps prevent your hair from getting super dry or breaking off. So your scalp producing oil is normal and you want it to be. As far as overproducing and like you get oily in 12 hours, obviously no one really wants that. But I want you to start looking at it as a beneficial thing and something that your hair actually does need. Now, something I do when I notice I'm getting oily, because obviously you get oily at the scalp and the root first, I like to take my brush and just brush through my hair. You really should brush through your hair every single day to distribute the oils, because obviously if you start getting oily at the scalp and it's just sitting there, you don't want that. So take your brush every day. Like if you're someone who doesn't brush your hair, when you wake up, like start brushing your hair, distribute those oils evenly throughout your hair, especially to your ends, because that's where you typically need the most hydration, moisture, and the oil that your scalp is producing. You also have to learn some hairstyles that you can do when your hair is oily. My hair doesn't get oily like on the same day every time I wash it. Like sometimes it'll get oily really fast. Sometimes it'll take longer. It depends. The weather, what you're eating. Like there's so many factors that play into it. But having a few hairstyles that you like to do when you know your hair is kind of dirty but you're not ready to wash it is going to be super helpful too. So can we work to balance out your scalp? Yes, of course. Nobody wants to be an oily mess in 12 to 24 hours. I used to be that person. Now it takes like 3 days. So I definitely have tons of tips and tricks around that. But nobody wants a dry, flaky, like dry hair and scalp either. So